I mean, it's just gross. It's like, there has to be a better way.
After hearing from frustrated neighbors in North Portland, the city says it's making a change. We just found out the city of Portland will find a new location to dump sewage from a nearby homeless shelter. Thanks for joining us for today's News at Noon. I'm Drew Carney. The city was dumping the sewage in that North Portland neighborhood, but now says it's moving that effort to a new location a few blocks away. KGW's Blair Best has more after speaking to people who live in that neighborhood.
When it comes to homelessness and crime,
We have a lot of street racing activity.
this North Portland neighborhood off Columbia Boulevard has seen a lot.
Feet away, we have many RVs that come and stay.
Just take it from Sarah Himmelman.
We have a lot of activity up here.
And lately, the city of Portland has picked this sewage drain outside Sarah's home
I was honestly shocked.
as a routine spot to dump waste from this new city-run homeless shelter along North Portland Road.
For them to be coming with this sewage and dumping this in our neighborhood, it seems like an unfair burden.
A spokesperson for Portland Shelter Services Group told KGW North Portland Road, the name of this tiny home village for up to 200 people, has a septic system that needs to be cleared regularly. In September, right before the shelter opened, the city got a 5-year permit to dump the waste in Sarah's neighborhood. We watched it happen Thursday morning.
I really want to support that work, and I think they're doing a really good thing, but ultimately they should be finding a safer place to be dumping the sewage. Lots of people come down here with their dogs and their kids to play.
The city spokesperson added that discharge location was the most environmentally sound and also cost significantly less than transporting the septic discharge across to the next nearest discharge station in Tigard.
I would challenge them to come out and see for themselves.
My house is closest to it, and we don't mind so much because we understand the necessity, right? I think it's better to be generous with what we have. At the end of the day, we get to go lock our doors and be frustrated about it, and these folks are cold in their tiny homes.
Blair Best, KGW News.
With all of this week's heavy rain, there's also been a lot of attention on Portland's big pipe system that runs along the Willamette River. So there's a long history, as many of you know, of stormwater and sewage overflow into the river, but it's been nearly 11 months since the city has seen a combined sewer overflow, and that is the system's longest stretch of success since the big pipe was first installed 13 years ago.
Prior to the big pipe, it would only take 1/10 of an inch of rain to trigger a sewage overflow, which, as we know in Portland, is not a high threshold.
According to the city's Bureau of Environmental Services, the big pipe can hold more than 100 million gallons of sewage and stormwater. You can actually monitor how the big pipe system is holding up live on the City of Portland's website. Things have calmed down a bit here today. Right now, the big pipe system is at just 3% capacity. In other news this afternoon, Portland police say an 18-year-old was shot near Cully Park in Northeast Portland around 11:30 last night. The teen was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Police interviewed 2 witnesses and determined that the people involved all likely knew each other. They also told us the shooter took off and they found a pistol in the victim's car. Footage from the scene this morning shows 2 cars crashed into each other, but we still don't know what caused that crash. In Vancouver, police say the driver of this car is facing multiple charges, including DUI, for causing a crash on Christmas Eve while high on fentanyl. Investigators say that blue Subaru we just showed you crashed into this red Mitsubishi, and the driver of the Subaru admitted they were using fentanyl. There was also a passenger in that Subaru who was taken to the hospital with a possible broken pelvis. We're told the driver of that Mitsubishi walked away okay.
Let's get her further from the car. Further from the car.
Firefighters broke through the windshield of this car that was on fire earlier this week in Southeast Portland and were able to pull a woman who was still inside to safety. This body cam video shows the rescue effort. Police say it happened Monday night at Southeast 112th and Mount Scott Boulevard near the Willamette National Cemetery. When they got there, emergency crews found the car rolled over on fire with that woman stuck inside. After breaking through the windshield, firefighters were able to pull her out with help from police.
We're a new crew. We've only been together for 5 shifts, and everybody just knew what needed to happen, and it just clicked. Everything was clicking. Yeah.
The driver, by the way, is still in the hospital and was cited for DUI. Portland Fire tells us she is in stable condition. KGW's Celine Stevens will have more from emergency responders who helped save her life. That's coming up later today on KGW News at 4. All right, before we send you over to Rod Hill in the Weather Center, we do want to let you know that the National Weather Service is saying there's a high threat for sneaker waves at the Oregon coast starting today through Sunday. Again, this is a sneaker wave warning for the Oregon coast today through Sunday. A reminder to keep your eyes out. Make sure you avoid any jetties, any of those logs that are lining up along the water line. That's a weekend weather warning for our viewers this weekend, Rod Hill.
And the whale watching week starts this weekend. Is that true, Drew?
Winter Whale Watch Week. Starts today, as a matter of fact, Rod, and runs through next week.
So I bring that up because a lot of people, extra people perhaps, more than normal, will be along the coast checking it out. I also wanted to point out big seas for storm watching in general. There's a push of rain coming in tonight and another one Saturday night. Here locally, seas up to about 20 feet, the big swells or rollers coming in. When you go down to the south coast, Reedsport down to Brookings, they're calling for 25 to 30-foot seas. Down there, there's a warning, storm warning for the high seas with these systems coming in over the weekend. Here's Chinook Winds Casino Resort, our Lincoln City camera. Gray skies, rain is out to sea, trying to come inland again. 50 is the number. We have some rain, obviously, in downtown Portland on the camera lens. 53 dry out at PDX. Radar didn't show a lot. These are mainly light showers right now, but out here, the radar beam shoots up high, starting to pick up here it comes, the higher depth of cloudiness. That's with the rain that we'll be picking up. So for the rest of your day, here's 3:43. Rain starting to pick up along the coast in Eugene. And then by the time we get into the 5 o'clock hour, it's a steady rain evening, it looks like, for the Rose City. 53 right now, 49 at 4. After that, the rain picks up, and there's your wet night. Not windy, just wet. 47 at 8 o'clock. Back to you, Drew.
All right, more from Rod coming up a little bit later here at noon. Right now, though, we want to take a look at this, one of the live webcams on Mount Hood Meadows website. It shows all the people that are taking advantage of the slopes here this afternoon. Most lifts at Mount Hood Meadows opened at 9 o'clock this morning, which comes after yesterday's weather forced the resort to delay the opening. Strong winds, downed trees, and avalanche warnings also had patrol units on high alert all day yesterday.
We did have, some trees being affected by wind, so we had some trees down on the mountain. So we won't open in those kind of conditions, but we have our surface lift, our beginner lift that are protected from the wind, so we're able to get those open. But right now we're just waiting for Ski Patrol to do some additional avalanche control work.
All right, that's the story up at Mount Hood Meadows. This is a look up at Timberline Lodge, where lifts did open today. They opened up at 9 o'clock this morning. Yesterday, everything was shut down at Timberline. No lifts opened up yesterday, again, because of all the high winds. A motorcyclist is in the hospital in very serious condition after a collision with a pickup truck in northwest Portland. Police say this happened around 1:30 yesterday afternoon, so about 24 hours ago, at the intersection of Northwest 16th and Everett, right next to the Everett Street overpass over 405. We still don't know, though, if the person in the truck was hurt at all. Portland police say they've arrested or cited 9 people following a human trafficking mission that happened last Thursday along Northeast 82nd and Sandy Boulevard. Police say officers also towed 2 cars and gathered more information on other suspects also related to human trafficking. Firefighters put out a fire at the Forest Grove Bi-Mart on Pacific Avenue. This happened last night, just before 10 o'clock. The fire department says the flames were limited to the outside of the building, but they also say smoke from the fire made its way inside. Workers in Washington are set to make a little more money in the new year as the state's minimum wage increases. So starting next week, January 1st, the minimum wage in Washington will go up to $16.66 an hour. Wages are also going up higher than that in several Washington cities. In Seattle, for example, workers will see an increase to $20.76 an hour for all employees, even those that make tips. Previously, small businesses could pay workers $17.25 an hour if employees counted tips as part of their wages.